Hi traders, welcome to the week ahead. It's GJ here. I hope you've had a good weekend. Let's get right into it. I want to keep this short and sweet as I can. Just to start off with, we all understand that by watching this video, you take full responsibility for any decisions that you might make based on the information shared, because this information shared is all it is. It's an educational video, and an educational video is not trading advice. So if you want investment advice, you need to go to a qualified investment registered person. I'm just sharing my own personal views for the sake of communication, information, and education. With that being said, let's get into it. We had a lot of money made last week and the week before. It's been absolutely awesome, and I hope that you caught some of them. I'm going to skip through real quick, and I'm going to start firstly with the dollar index. And so it looks like the opening candle has been making a move back up in here. So in regards to the USD crosses, we could get a little bit of sideways movement settled. This was where we made the money with the US dollar crosses on some of the pairs. And right now, it looks like it's taking a breather. So let's go and have a look at the charts. Because while it's taking a breather, we're going to get lots of sideways movement on instruments like the Aussie US, New Zealand US, CAD US, Euro US, Pound US. We've all had some really good moves on those pairs. So now it's a time to be patient and wait to see what this is going to do. This could settle in here for a while at around 93, so be careful and just use common sense and protect your capital. So Aussie AUD has come down a little bit on the end of the week, the last day of the week. It topped out, and I would say that we're going to get some more of this for a little while. Just watch your levels. You can see here that it looks like there's a shelf forming, what I'd call support here at 95,200, and then this other area of resistance is around 97. You could bring it down, but just somewhere in there. That I take the big number. That's all good. So nothing there. Aussie Swifts, nothing there. You can see the sideways movement. This is the key level. We spoke about that 2 weeks ago, nearly 3 weeks ago. We got up, had a little play, but it turned to be a fakie. So the big question is this going to end up to be a double top, and we're going to get some downward movement? Time will tell. Let the market tell you what it wants to do. And again, Aussie JPY, nothing to be said here. We've got a double top. Here's the key areas of resistance, 76, and down here you could narrow it down to this area here of 74. It was bigger, it went down, and then it just slowly meandered up, and it looks like we might be settling in for a range bound kind of deal. And it's not until we break out of these key levels here and here that we're going to get some opportunity for a little bit of money. Aussie New Zealand, same deal. It looks like it's topped out, and like I said, we can all have an opinion on the markets. It doesn't mean to say that it's a correct opinion. It doesn't mean to say that you've analyzed it correctly. Your analysts or analytical point of views are valid, but they're not validated until the market confirms that what you're seeing is about to happen. And that's why horizontal or any support and resistance areas, whether they be horizontal lines or trend lines or whatever you use, pivots, it doesn't matter, it's got to be confirmed. let the market speak to you. So this is a third time it's up in this area, and I'm staying away. There's no trade here. Aussie USD, we've had our run up. Now I'm looking at the charts just to see what is going to be on offer. Technically, if we look at it purely from a technical base, we've had the trend coming up, and we would be due for some sort of pullback. You can see that the pullbacks have been very shallow here, but it has been making higher highs and higher lows. A little bit of a pullback here, and then we went sideways, broke, and it just gives the impression that it's running out of steam around this area of 72. So if we went to a bigger chart, you can see, let's just go to the weekly, you can see that it's at a critical area. And until it got through here and closed above these areas here, I'm really reluctant to say, well, you know, this is what I see. There's this pattern or that pattern or any other pattern, and we're going higher. The market will decide that. And this is where we get into trouble, when we rely so much on our analysis and it turns out to be wrong. Let the market tell you. Have an opinion about it. I don't know what this is going to do, and I don't actually care. I'm just going to trade whatever the market gives me. Right now, we've had the first push up, and it's been significant. And the big question is, can it go higher? Time will tell. Right now, it's not going higher unless we get a close above 71.70 to 72 area. And if it does, I will take it. However, if I see some sideways movement for a few days and a breakdown below, I will take that, because it could be a pullback or it could be an attempt at a reversal. The possibilities are endless. It could pull back down to here and then start to move back up again. And what have we got? Head and shoulders. And at that point, you'd be looking to break the shoulder line, and I would gingerly get on here with some small trade lot sizes, and then that's where I'd stack it if this comes back and does that. But the market's got to do it before it's a reality. It's a possibility right now. No trade on the CAD Swiss at the present. You can see it's at historical lows. This is monthly here, and I am looking for a move off the bottom. And if we come back and have a look at the daily chart again, you can see here it is. So I'm waiting. This is the key area here. If you want a number, it's around 0.68470. I'm not going to try to trade from here until it breaks this. You can see the shelf in here. Look at it. It's real important that it takes this out if we're going to retest this here. The other alternative is simply to wait to see what happens, and when it gets down here at the low, we'll get an opportunity to buy off it. I would buy down here, but I'm not buying where it is at the moment. I will wait for a break. CAD JPY. Same deal. We're in this, looks like we're in this range. It looks like it's decided in range. Till it breaks out of these ranges, I'm not interested in trading it. Yes, let's take a look at this. It's 190. I'm just not trading it. You can have your little scalping strategies and do whatever you like. That's good. And I all power to you, and I hope you succeed. But this is where traders get beaten up. Going down onto smaller time frames, trying to trade from here to there, blah, blah, blah. These are the moves that I'm after. This is worth having, 300-400 pips. I could get this wrong. I've got a 50% chance of getting it right. I'm either going to pick the right direction or the wrong direction when it's confined in there. That's why traders lose a lot of money, and it's totally unnecessary at all. You don't have to do that. So looking at this, you can see, I should take this off, but you can see the higher highs and lower highs. All good stuff, eh? And we'll remove, I wanted to remove all the drawings, but anyway, I don't want to waste time on this. I just want to clear it off. Right, so here we have a situation when we've had this really good move up, and it seems to have reversed a little bit, but it hasn't, you see, because it's just broken out of consolidation. It came up, it pulled back. That was a huge deep pullback. Probably if you're a Fibonacci fan, it would have come back and stopped you out of zero, and you've had to start again. But you can see the way the market's moved. On the smaller time waves, there'll be lots of waves within the daily candles. And what we're doing now is having a rest. It pulled back off on Friday. There's the opening candle today, and this is the key area. Simple. Right now, no trade. Euro AUD, no trade unless we get a close above here. You could say, well, you know, anyone can see patterns. We can all see patterns. Butterflies, do what you like. But it's not worth it. It's just not worth betting and risking your money on patterns that only work 50% of the time. There's a better way. Be aware of them because they give you clues to what the market might do, but don't put the bank on them. You know, a guy once told me that if all you did was trade support and resistance, you'd be a very successful trader. And that's what we try to do here. And you can see that this was quite a key resistance and still is a key resistance area. It hasn't broken down below there. It's settled in here for a while, a little bit higher. We have to have a decent close. And I want to see on my strength indicator some real good divergence between strength and weakness to take this up. Otherwise, I'm just staying out of it. I might take some little scalps in the Frankfurt or London session in this context, but I'm not taking any long-term trades. So Euro Caddy, really have enjoyed this. This has been great. And I put this in just as I was looking at my charts. And we've still got a key area. This is a very strong resistance area. We have a nearly touched it again, but we've retested it here. We've retested it here again. And so if past performance in the charts is indicative of future behavior, this isn't broken yet. And we're very quick to say that past performance doesn't mean that it's going to happen in the future, but you learn things from what you see on your charts. And there are repeatable price action patterns within the market, there's no question. But I want to know that there's juice in the tank to take a trade. This was worth taking. Now, where to from here? I'm just going to watch it. There's a big number around here, about 158, and the big numbers don't always work all the time. You've got to be aware of that. So just where is this thing at? And I think that we're just going to get sideways movement, so no trade there at the moment, but watch for a break here or a break back down and a retest of some of this. Let the market show you. No trade, Euro Swissy, forget it. Wait for those levels to be broken. Now, the Euro Pound, we've got a double top in here. I would like to see, I want to see this come down. I mean, come on. You know, we're at some really critical highs right now, and if we go to the bigger time frame just to check it out, you can see what I mean. And this is why I go for support and resistance off the bigger time frames. This is a very hard area to get out, and we've had some little reconnaissance trips up here, but look what happened. It came down, and yes, you can trade this. No problem at all. But it's come back down, and it's struggling with this area, so I'm waiting to see what happens. Let's go back down to a more tradable time frame, and you can see here that this is really key, and I'm not interested in trading it unless I get a breakout of this area here. Euro JPY, another pair that's given us a little bit of profit over the last couple of weeks. It's again at a key inflection point. So just be patient and just wait. I'm waiting to see what happens. We've taken out this high. I would presume that this would go a little bit higher and test this out before a pullback, but this could just go sideways. So wait for the market to tell you again. Euro USD. I think this is going to be a week of taking a breather in the markets on a lot of pairs because we've had some significant moves up. I'm just waiting. And again, if I get a break of 119, I'd be very interested. And what I would like to see is just to come up here on a smaller time frame, test this area and give me a bear signal to trade back down if we're going to get a range. This range to me, I think it's big enough to trade in my, yeah, it's over 200 pips, and that's my criteria. Your criteria may be different, and that's fine as long as it works for you. But that's where the Euro USD is at. Euro New Zealand. I hope you've caught these moves because they've been good. But now we're at a critical inflection point again. And I don't know where it's going to go. I do not have a crystal ball. But the way I'm approaching this, I can see that this is an area where price reacted before. So we're either going to get up here, go sideways, and then retest something down here, or we're going to, it can only do one of those two things. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. Otherwise, it's going to break this area here, and then we'll hope for a retest. Oops, see, I'm a bit wobbly this morning. Let's see if we can lock those drawing tools on, and then we'll get down here. This is what I want. This is the real safe way to trade. A break of this somewhere. And then a move up. And we continue to go up. That's the way I'm approaching it. Pound AUD. Looking for a retest. Didn't get that on Friday. Didn't get a big move out of the London or Frankfurt sessions, but this is where I'm trading these pairs on the British pound. As Frankfurt London sessions, they're offering up some really good one. Pound CAD made a really good move up. I hope you caught that. That was an awesome trade. Nothing at the moment. This area of 175.780 is right there. Pound Swissy, waiting now for this key area to be broken at 1.2. This was the little trade that we had on, and that came out of the Frankfurt London session as well. There's nothing more to be said. Just wait patiently and see what the market's going to give you. I think when all the issues around Brexit are solved, we over the next, after it's solved over the next 6 to 12 months, after that, the pound will settle down, and eventually I think the pound will be all right, and we'll see some very good moves, but we'll have to wait and see. Pound JPY, double top, but this could be just some more pause in it going higher. The yen has been quite strong over the last couple of weeks, but in this last week it's been very volatile too. So it's been up and down like a yo-yo, and so there's not bringing any stability to yen cross pairs to trade any significant moves. But keep an eye on your levels again and you'll be fine. Here we go. This was the move that we caught, the break here of the trend. You could stretch that out. I just put the mark in, but visualize in your eye the trend was coming down here. And I always talked about a break of this trend line and break of this level, and that's the trade that we got out of the pound ZD. Now, how high can this go? Well, it could break this level and carry on 50-50, or it can come down and do a recheck, and this is what I'd like to see. I put this in on Friday before the markets close to remind me to approach this in a common sense way. This is what I'm looking for. If I get a break of this area here, because price does react or did react in the past here, I would just put my toes in with a couple of light lot sizes, because there's some key areas up here it has to take back. Because if it breaks through here, it could be a fakie, and it could just go up and then come back in, or it could go up, do a retest, and if it goes up and does a retest and then starts to go and takes this high out here, that is when I'm going to get in my normal lot sizes. Right there, a break of that. But there's a bit of action to happen, and it might take a whole week for that. Pound USD, been beautiful trade. Loved it. And I hope you caught it too. But right now, we have to wait for it to settle down again and see what it's going to do. We're at 131, and there's 132 just sitting up here. And seriously, that's a strong resistance area. So watch it. Technically, I'm looking for a pullback. I understand the technicals, but just because you understand the technicals doesn't mean to say you're going to get a good trade. The market's going to decide that. So technically, I would like to see the pullback, and if we see the pullback, I'll be looking to buy it from down here again, as long as the US dollar is continuing to weaken, which we saw in the chart as we went to the US dollar index that it had pulled back. There it is there. So let's see when the market opens what this does. Is it going to form a bottom here for a while and take a bit of rest and do this or do this? So I think that this week is going to be a week where we take a breather and there's not going to be a lot of trades. New Zealand USD. It's pulled back, and the big question is it going to be consolidation? Wait, I'm definitely going to be in if I get a break. I've got pending orders down in here now. I had them in here because I was hoping for a breakdown. I just don't believe that the Kiwi's strong enough to really make a major move too far above here. And it could just crawl like it has been, just dribbling up to 68. It could do that. I understand that. I don't care what patterns are in there. I'm waiting for the market to tell me what to do. My expectation from what I see here is that this now is the key level in here. It's got to break that. I want to close above it, wait for the retest, and boom. So remember, with breakouts, I put a little small lot size in and I get into break even as soon as I can. Doesn't matter if it's, usually by the time, if it runs 20 pips, I'm going to have my first position off at around 10 because I'm taking 3 positions these days. And then I'm going to take the second off at 20. And then I just pull my stop loss up. And if it wants to run, it'll run. If it doesn't want to run, it'll just come back, pull me out. No harm, no foul. Because often when you get a breakout of a key level, you can get a breakout, then a fakie, and then she's away, or you can get a breakout and it comes back in and goes sideways. New Zealand CAD, no trade, wait for your levels, no trade on the New Zealand Swiss, although there could be a setup this week or off the bottom here, as long as this level holds, and that's what I'm looking for. New Zealand JPY, same deal. I know the trend is up and a daily chart. I can see that we have a double top up here. What's it going to do? Now you've got to understand that now with COVID and stuff, the economies are struggling. And so this move up seen on the New Zealand dollar was because the Japanese yen was up and down like a yo-yo. And last week it showed quite a bit of weakness. The week before, let me repeat, sorry, my bad. Last week, the Japanese yen showed a bit of strength. That's why we had this. The week before, it showed a bit of weakness, and that's why we had this. The New Zealand dollar, believe you me, I'm a Kiwi, is not that strong at the moment. It has its moments, but that's why we're getting this sort of stuff here now. We haven't got a nice move up. This was where the Kiwi was strong. That's where you want to be trading right now. Be careful. USD CAD, waiting now to see what the US dollar does. Even if this breaks up here, probably not going to take that unless it breaks this level. Or I might take it if it breaks this high, but it'll only be a real low lot sizes, just simply because I don't think that the US dollar is going to make any major moves up, because for this to go up into here and then like this, we would have to see some excellent strength in the US dollar index. I believe that we're in for some further weakness. So watch it. USD Swissy has been a good trade right now. I believe it's going to be a week where we're going to settle down. Could get some consolidation. If we're going to get a move that's going to just burst force and take us lower, just look for taking out that low there, and then you could try getting in down there, or let it go back, retest this area here of 192, and then look for a bearish signal to continue the trend down. US JPY's taken a rest. That was the lovely trade we had, and so I'm looking for a bounce off here. I think this has the potential to go lower. Can this trade move more? Yes, it can come up here and it can go sideways. No problem at all. But I'm looking for more downward pressure. Now let's come to the darlings. This is where I've made most of my money, gold and silver. And I want to finish off here very quickly. Right now we're taking a spell, and I think that it's just gearing up to break this level of 2000. It is not too late to make money on this. I think gold is going much higher, and we'll give it a pretty picture so we can all see. What do we want? We'll do this, and maybe give it one of those. There we go. Maybe we could even put this in. There we go. Right, we've got it. Right now is not a time to be getting in. I'm holding trades, and I'm waiting for a break of this, and I have pending orders. I have standing lot pending orders sitting up here, because I've got enough to cover the trades with the couple of trades I'm still holding. I'm back in again here. These are my latest trades, and I'm trading those up into here, but it's just a real slow boat to China right now. It's just taking a breather. Look at what gold does. It has its runs, then takes a breather. And this was a big breather. And then it meandered up. It wasn't fierce and lots of juice in the tank. It just meandered up. This was a good move. This is where it had a lot of volatility, and it had a lot of volume in it. It had volume in it. This is a great move up. And these are the moves that you want to be patient and wait and catch. And there are going to be a lot more moves like this on gold. Now, you can have an opinion, and that's good. I acknowledge that we all have opinions, but the market is going to tell you what to do. Will I take a pullback? I mean, technically, we should see some sort of a pullback. And if, like I said, we see the DAX open and a little bit of reviving in the dollar, not too much. And I just think that we're going to see this kind of deal where if gold's going to move up and this level's going to hold for a while, there'll just be a range on the dollar index here, something, somewhere similar to this kind of deal, and then it'll move again. But this could be a number of weeks through here, but I think we're going lower. So my pick is still the best way to get some big moves is still the metals. And I'm holding silver. I got in again off here. You can see the that's where my entry is. I kept my stop losses well out of the way because I hold it. It's like buying shares for me. So I'm still in it. Now that it got up here, I put stop losses in here. I had my stop loss way down here when I started and locked profit in, but I kept it away. And I've just added some more to my original trades. So these trades as they're going up, you just lock your profits in, but don't get it too close, because I've got it too close before and I've had to bank the money. I've got one long-term trade now which started from here, and I've got the stop loss just sitting down there. I don't need the money. I just need, now that I've got this here, I want to build on this, because I believe that silver is going to close the gap between the price the difference between the price of silver and gold. I think that gold gap's going to close, and when that gold and silver gap begins to close, silver, if history is anything to go by, will move up very, very quickly. So I'm expecting some bigger moves on silver. When is the question? When the market decides to go. Now, there are pressures out there that cause the market to go and causes market sentiment to take a particular sentiment and opinion. Wait for those moments. But gold and silver are going higher. So that's it. I'm sorry to be 30 minutes. I hope this has been helpful. Please take care out there, and I pray that you and your families will keep safe as you go through this COVID thing. Protect your capital. Don't get greedy. Take the profits when it's there. Happy pip hunting. We'll catch you later. Cheers, G.